Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Gizmo Joe. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Logitech Z120, or if you're in Australia, Z120 USB powered speakers. All right, so these guys are fairly cheap. I picked mine up from my local Officeworks for about 20 bucks. That's $20 Australian. So if you're in the US, you could probably get them for even cheaper, maybe about $15 or so. But these guys are fairly basic. As you can see, they're just, little white cubes. Basically, these guys output about 1.2 watts of power. You see that it's got just a very basic little knob here to control the volume. That's an on and off switch, by the way. There's not much to look at. They're designed so that they sit on either side of your computer, and basically they're USB powered. So that's handy because you don't have to have another cable running to an outlet, but it will eat up one of your USB ports in your computer. And all you got to do is stick this 3.5 millimeter jack into the headphone port on your computer and you're ready to roll. Pretty simple setup. Like I said, they're all plastic. They don't weigh that much. I would probably guess about maybe a quarter of a kilo or so. So about, really light anyway. They don't feel cheap though. They feel pretty solidly built. They have these little rubber feet down at the bottom to keep them from slipping around. Not that that's really a huge issue. I found in my testing that they sat fine. Actually, these guys have obviously some cable management on the back. Whether or not you're going to use that, I don't know, it's up to you. But I did have these kind of all the cables all over the place. And because there's the USB, there's the 3.5 millimeter jack, plus the cable that connects both of the speakers together, it did look a bit messy around my laptop. But if you take the time to, put the cords all around everything, it should be okay. All right, so not much else to say about these guys. Obviously, they don't have a subwoofer, so you kind of have to taper your expectations when you get really cheap speakers like this. But if you're on a budget, Logitech has been making a name for themselves as really high quality sound in a fairly affordable package. So I was really curious to see what these guys are like, especially since they do not have a separate sub. Anyway, let's plug something in and fire up some tunes and see how we go. Okay guys, so basically because this speaker system sort of derives its power from USB, all I've got is a USB sort of power pack here. And if we click this guy on, you'll see that the little green indicator light comes on. I'm going to crank this guy. And like I said, I've tested these before on my laptop and they were quite loud. So basically on my phone, I've got a few YouTube music clips you can get from the audio library. It's totally free, so definitely check that out if you are making YouTube videos or you need some music for a project. The YouTube library is really good. It's got lots of different stuff. So I got 3 different songs for you. I try to pick ones that are in different sort of genres so that you get a better feel for what these speakers are like and whether or not they might be suitable for your particular tastes. Anyway, let's fire up the first song and see how we go. All right, so hopefully you guys got a good feel for what these speakers sound like, but I've been thoroughly impressed with them. I mean, for such a small sort of package, again, it doesn't have a sub, but I thought the bass response was pretty good on it. And again, you have to sort of taper your expectations due to the price point and the fact that, it is such a small package. You're not going to get anything that blows you away, but if you are in a bedroom or a student, or even if it's just for your kids, this is going to be a great little setup, and it's not going to break the bank. I'm pretty impressed with the overall sound quality. I think the range is pretty good. It doesn't sound too tinny, and at the same time, it doesn't distort at higher volumes, as you saw. So I think it outputs a pretty decent amount of sound, and without any sort of distortion, which is what you want in a small package at a rock bottom sort of price. Anyway, that's going to do it for the Logitech Z120 USB powered speakers. Like I said, I picked mine up from Officeworks for about 20 Australian dollars. If you're in the US and you can find a pair, let me know how much they cost. If you're in New Zealand, let me know how much they cost. If you're anywhere else in the world, let me know how much they're charging you. But here in Australia, you can get them for about 20 Australian dollars, which I think is a steal. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for watching. Give me a like. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. And check back next week for a brand new video. That's going to do it for me today. This is Gizmo Joe signing off.